Yes, today it's time for a new tactic. A tactic that takes advantage of certain things that happen in the game. Yes, let me introduce you to Houdini's little brother. What I like about this tactic is the moment you come out of the defensive transition, you're set up for an attack straight away. Check out where our inverted winger sits. He's sitting on the shoulder of one of the fullbacks. We're playing against Real Madrid. Notice where our striker is sitting. He's sitting on the shoulder of one of the defenders. This allows us to put pressure on their back line. Now, as the keeper gets the ball, he looks for options. We don't waste too much time. He rolls it out to the defender. We play it out. Now look at where our inverted winger is. He's free right now in this space. The ball transitions to one of the strikers, and then we quickly move into an attacking pattern where the wingback is going to drive down this lane, the inverted winger is going to come down this lane, and the striker is going to come down this lane. This means that I can actually exert a lot of pressure on defenses very early in the attacking phase. And we've got enough players on the flanks here to support play. And we've also got a focus play down the left so that if the ball transitions towards the left side, we got plenty of support. This is us in another defensive transition. We win the ball. Our central midfield is nicely positioned so that I can build up play with very quick triangles. And some of these are fairly large triangles. We've got our inverted winger once again attacking the space. This is a tactic that is going to tear down that little gap between the fullback and the central defender. We get into the area, he checks back, and we score the goal. You will notice that both the earlier highlight and this highlight are largely quite similar. Well, that's the theme of this attacking pattern. Here we're defending against the AI. We're fairly deep. Notice what's happening here. We've got pressure down this lane. We've got one lane empty over here. And our inverted winger has actually moved inside to help us with the ball. Now, this is something that, it's part of the tactic. Now, some people might not like this. The moment we regain possession, you will notice he makes a beeline for this position straight away. So he goes back to his natural position, which allows us then to build up play one more time. He's ready to attack the lane. The wingback comes up this way. We've got a focus play on this side of the pitch, so we can expect him to start moving this way. But notice what's happening over here. So this is due to the combination of roles and duties that are set up in the tactic. This allows us to create pressure down between the defenders and down the flanks. As long as we can get the ball down the flanks, we shouldn't have an issue. Here, the central midfielder attacks the central areas of the pitch, pull defenders away, leaving us space for the wingback to attack. Now, this is going to be deadly because as we get into the area, once again, there are not enough players to defend against the cross. We come in, we score another goal. Nearly every single transition depends on quick breakaways. It depends on us creating 2v1 situations. And this tactic is just a slight difference from the Houdini system that I released a few weeks ago. It's a bit more defensively resilient. Let's take a look at some of the roles and duties and try and understand their combinations. I have told my keeper to distribute to the back line, but there are times where I may not use play out of defense, right? If I am faced with a high press and I have a good squad, I will play out of defense. And I will always use ball-playing defenders because I want these ball-playing defenders to break the press. They're the best role to break a press because they bring the ball out. Now, when they bring the ball out, they draw players to them. And because we've got ample passing options, we should be able to escape any kind of a high press. Now, at the back, we've told both the ball-playing defenders to dribble less because as I move the mentality up, I don't want them to dribble too much. Now, the wingback on the right has been told to shoot less often, mark tighter. But the wingback on the left has been told to take more risks and stay wider. There is a reason behind this. Now, this wingback, he's going to start attacking these lanes as he goes up. But I want this wingback to stay as wide as possible because I want this inverted winger to shift narrow when the opportunity presents itself. The reason why we want to do this is I want to create a split in these two players in the final third. If the inverted winger comes in this way, the wingback can charge down the flanks and we can get crosses in without too much resistance. I'm using a role that actually stays wider, shoots less often and dribbles less. We're also using a pressing forward who will move into channels. This means that he will drift right. When he drifts right, he supports the wingback. Not only that, we also have a Mazala here who stays wide. So this combination actually creates a small little triangle on the right side of the pitch. So on the left-hand side of the pitch, I've also have a focus play instruction. This allows us to create a bit more space in the middle for us to move the ball around. And I've got an inverted winger here, a box-to-box midfielder who's been told to move into the channels. That's the space between players. And then we've got a wing-back on attack over here. Up top, we have an advanced forward, Bog basic. Nothing too fantastic about this role. He does what he's supposed to do. And at the back, we've got a DM. Now, I like the DM as a role, opposed to other roles. I don't want a player here spending a lot of time thinking about making killer passes. Hey, we've got lots of movement happening off the ball. I don't need somebody to try something fantastic. So what we have told him to do is dribble less, hold his position, close down more, and tackle harder. This means that I only have a few players in this team that are going to be running at defenses. The advanced forward, the inverted winger, the pressing forward, the Mazala on attack, and to some extent, the box-to-box midfielder. More importantly, this wingback is going to attack the lines. When they attack the lines, they'll draw players to them. Now, when they draw players to them, pass into space can be used to release those players who are attacking the lines. We are going to be playing on slightly shorter, or rather, this is mixed passing in general. Running a defense, hit early cross, pass into space. As far as the out of possession instructions are concerned, this again will depend on how good a team you have. I would recommend this as a starter for most teams. Now, if you're very comfortable with your team and you know your team has got high stamina, high work rate, they're very good on and off the ball, you could probably go with use offside trap, maximum pressing intensity, use tighter marking, and even get stuck in. Now, when you use that combination, chances are you will be stronger than most of the other teams when you play this system. Now, the set pieces I put in the set pieces. All the corners are attacking the near post. It's about basic. Everybody's doing it nowadays. We might as well just join the crowd. And well, the tactic, it's really simple. There's not too much rocket science to this tactic. I've already shown you the transitions that matter right at the start of the show. So we got that out of the way. And I've explained this tactic to you. Now, there'll be more tactics coming up very soon, and I want to keep these as simple and short as possible so that you understand the main transitions we are after and the kind of goals that we're going to score. So that when you're playing your game, you can spot the same things. Naturally, there are other little things that we want to spot, but I tried to cover as much as I could in those few highlights that are shown at the top of the show. I hope you enjoyed today's video and you found it useful. If you have any more questions or if there are any other tactics you want me to cover, please let me know in the comments below. Once again, I want to thank you all for your fantastic support. You've been phenomenal. Please stay safe. Take care of each other. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.